Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here on this Monday morning, starting out a full week of some activities here on Panhandle Outdoors that you're going to really enjoy. But first, let's do our weather, brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. Drew Pollard and a hard-working crew up in Southport, taking care of our everyday needs. We're looking at high today is going to get up to 73, low 48. Now, water temperature at the end of the pier is still right around 66 degrees. So check it out. Pier fishing should be pretty decent during the Christmas holidays, and we're going to talk about, the next week or two, what some things you can do outdoors during Christmas holidays. Moon phase brought to us by Mountain Dew. Get outdoors with Mountain Dew. We'll have a full moon coming up on the 18th. We just finished up the black moon, and so now it's waxing up. It's going to be a really pretty moon on December the 18th, so keep that in mind. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn here on 23rd Street. Today is December the 6th, and we're looking at a really good tide. This week, folks, the tide, look at that, the whole week is good, strong tides. I mean, coming in really strong. So find those trout in those holes, and you'll have a good afternoon of fishing, or morning of fishing, really. But it's got that it's going to be low in the middle of the day and coming in really strong. Wind direction be coming out of west-southwest at about 10 to 15. Okay, the low tide this morning is going to be at actually 9:23, and high tide at actually way on into the night, about 10:30 tonight. So it's going to be coming in pretty strong. Let's take a break. We'll come back with our special guest on this Monday. Okay, welcome back, folks, and welcome to our special guest this morning, Jerry Forehand. Good morning, Jerry.
My pleasure being here, Winston.
Oh, it's great to have Jerry. I've known him for so long, and he had he's a native of this area. He's such a consummate outdoorsman, and just does a lot of good things for folks. And all we've been trying to get you to come on the show for a while, and we just never could get hooked up. But here we are.
Well, it's good to be here.
We're
Thank you for inviting me.
Glad to have you, and he's going to tell us some stories and all. But let's start from the beginning. And you grew up in this area. Tell the folks a little bit about yourself.
I did. My parents actually are from Kynard.
Okay.
And Kane Fortner Road. My mother was a Fortner, and my father, Burley, started out in Bonifay, and the Depression, they lost their big farm, and so they just traveled and did all kinds of work, turpentine and sawmill. He, as a young man, he quit school at the 5th grade to go to work, to help support the family, and he actually helped cut a lot of the cypress trees in the dead lakes for lumber. And I imagine they're still picking some up that he helped cut out of the river system.
Deadhead.
Deadheads. And I've got 5.5 years in the Air Force during the Vietnam era.
So they settled down here, though. They finally came to Bay County area?
Bay County in 47, after the war.
Okay.
My father was in the war and helped liberate some of the concentration camps at the end of the war with Germany. And he came back, went to work as a plank original member at the Navy base, and he worked at the Navy base 19 years, and he was quite a guy that loved to do stuff, but with his hands. So he developed a trailer park, Callaway Trailer Court, and that's something that I originally retired them from and bought it from them.
Okay.
But yeah, I was born here in Bay County.
And went on to Springfield and Rutherford and all that?
I went to Everett, and I went to Callaway, Everett, and Rutherford. Graduated in 1967.
Yeah, and then went into you said Air Force?
I went into the Air Force in 1970 and came out in 75.
Okay. And they've had us over for dinner before, and tell us a story about meeting your wife. This is a good story.
Okay, well, I was raised in church at what's known as Old First Assembly on 3rd Street. She graduated, was working in South Carolina, worked for a good friend of mine in the store that was from Bay County. After graduation, she came down, I met her in church. great place to meet people, especially those you want to spend 50 years with, and we have celebrated 50 years.
Well, congratulations.
And so, yeah, that turned into a 30-day romance. And I was engaged in 30 days. I was about to go into service, and we got married in January. And we have one daughter, Pamela. And we're lucky enough to have a granddaughter now. Rebecca knows her, Curry, and Aiden knows her is my grandson.
And you went in the Air Force for how many years you stayed?
I was 5.5. I went into the Guard through a program so I could come home. My mother was sick.
Yeah.
And I did Guard duty in Danley Guard in Montgomery, Alabama.
But one constant thing you had always had a strong faith and all, but you always loved the outdoors.
They kind of go hand in hand. That's probably one of the better places to pray. Is sitting in a tree, and you're not bothered by anything.
Way out on, I know you like to go way out on the Gulf too.
I love to fish in the Gulf. Have a 25-foot boat, and it's not unusual to see me out there 50 miles offshore.
I know we've talked back and forth. I've showed this picture if you remember off and on over the years and all. In the early years, you really sort of concentrated on any part of the outdoors, or you just did it all?
Early years, I didn't go offshore very much. The fact is, I sold my first boat and all my saltwater fishing tackle because I used to get sick. So there is hope for those out there that get sick.
Yeah, you got over that.
I got over it, but I still take insurance medicine. I take a pill every time I go out. I hadn't been sick in years, but
yeah.
I tell everybody I got life insurance, and I don't want to use it, but I take that pill just in case.
Well, that's good. We've got all kind of pictures to share that you're involved in, all kind of stories on outdoors. I just wanted to get y'all a background on them, and been here a long time. And you property manage a lot. You have a lot of different properties.
I do. I'm in the rental business still, and I build houses.
Okay.
And I do volunteer work.
Okay, we're going to talk about that just as soon as we come back. Let's take a break real quick. Okay, welcome back. So here with our fellow outdoorsman, Jerry Forehand. He's done a lot of outdoor stuff and done a lot of things to help folks too. And also, as a living, you're a builder, and how many houses you built this past year?
Well, I sold 3 new houses in a depressed area in Panama City to help those people.
You do a lot of the low-income kind of stuff, I know.
I enjoy doing that and helping people.
That's good.
That's the first time for any of those to ever own a house.
Yeah.
So that's an accomplishment for me too.
That's cool. And we got all kind of neat stories I know about, and we have time, we're going to get into them. But first, let's look at some of these pictures here. So you sent me these pictures this morning. Tell us about them.
Well, that's my grandson, Aiden, and those are catfish that caught out of my little pond right behind my house.
I've seen that pond. See that pond right there? That's cool. All right.
And there's my daily visitor to my pond that loves to eat bass, and I have to run him off once in a while. You can see my duck house in the back.
Now, this is right behind his house, folks. I mean, you could throw a rock and hit him. Have you named this one yet?
No. He's Pete and repeat, probably.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Okay, let's see. This one right here. That's okay.
Yeah, that's Apalachicola, and fishing on a wreck out there. We caught this fall, September, October. That we caught black snapper, lane snapper, and found some grouper and cobia.
That's a good looking catch right there. Is that your boat?
That is my boat.
All right.
Background.
All right.
That's a different catch we caught 2 cobia that day, and those are still the red snappers out. So it's black snapper and lane snapper before they close lane snapper.
Jerry, was the cobia run pretty decent this year? I know you fish every year. How do you compare this year's cobia run? I've been asked that question.
I think the cobia run itself was poor. It was tough catching them if you were looking for them. These I caught bottom fishing with live bait.
This is the original way people caught cobia, and then it came in fashion to sort of start looking for them and all.
That's right.
The sport fishermen. So, but they hang around those wrecks, don't they?
They hang around wrecks.
This is a great picture. Tell us about this.
All right. Well, that's we were headed offshore in Apalachicola Bay, and I just thought, well, everybody likes to see a sailboat or a sunrise, and I got the privilege of taking them both.
Look at that. That's a great picture.
There's another shot.
Yeah, he's getting right there by the sun right there.
Yeah, he was coming in. He was through. That's still in the bay of Apalachicola.
Okay.
And there's a different catch. You can see different fish. We had 2 cobia on, and that's the only one we were able to land, and we caught a grouper, and those are lane and black snapper again.
Now, this little fishing crew you got, they're not rookies anymore, are
No, they're not rookies. That's 3 good friends, and sad to say one of them is no longer with us.
Okay, and let's see. Okay, I think that's, we got a lot more stuff too, but I just wanted to, we got some hunting pictures to show up later, but want to talk about the fishing and all. And over the years, how, in your view, I know you started as a boy and a young man fishing here, teenager and all that. In the early years, how's fishing changed from those days?
A lot more boats out there.
Okay, a lot more boats.
And of course, we didn't have all the ability to find the fish as easily. And we have more fish now than we've ever had.
Yeah,
that Gulf has rich. Now, I used to fish on commercial boats, Joe McKinney, you know, and we'd be 10 of us fishing on it. Out of 10 people fishing that knew what they was doing, we might catch 1 or 2 red snapper.
My goodness.
And Joe knew where the fish was.
He did.
And so we are blessed now.
Yeah.
We are blessed.
I know we've talked about that with some other old timers like us, and we feel like all the structure over the years, the structure that's been built, and then all of that kind of stuff has helped the red snapper population immensely.
Well, it gives them a place to hide.
Exactly.
And I'm glad they've taken out the lionfish, because that lionfish is one that eats everything out there. And we have caught them on the boat. It's a beautiful fish, but it is. It's the coyote of the
that's a coyote of the water. That's a good way to put it.
Eats everything he can, and they don't miss when they want something.
Well, here it is. We're wrapping up 2021 for the most part as far as fishing and all. It's been a good year fishing?
It's been a good year fishing. We've pretty much limited every time we went on red snapper and caught a bunch of different kinds of fish that you don't normally always catch. But
what about coming into 2022? What's your prediction and all, and what things going to happen?
I think the red snapper is going to get bigger.
Okay.
And I think there's enough of them out there that if you just ride around and look for sign, even if you don't do anything, you can go out there 20 miles and just start watching your machine, and you'll see a little bitty show. And when you turn around, it'll grow, and there'll be some fish on it. So.
Do you do as much bay fishing now as you used to?
It's just hard to dance to every tune.
See?
I love bay fishing, but if I have a choice, I'm probably offshore catching a big one, because
and that's why
I tell everybody when I'm old, I'm 72 now.
I know.
I might have to stay in the bay.
I know, and we talk about, I have a lot of inshore people on, but I love getting these offshore guys on, because they come from a different a love of going out there and all. Really? And you do it on a regular basis. I mean,
yeah, I enjoy going out, and if I've got buddies that want to go, we probably going.
And a lot of times you don't plan it way ahead, do you?
The weather is what we plan with. They may get a call tonight because the weather has turned and it's going to be 1 to 2 at the most. And to run 50 miles off, you need to have good seas.
Yeah. Well, one thing that fascinates me now compared to the old days is the communication and electronics and the EPIRBs and all this safety stuff and all this.
Yeah, you're a lot safer out there now.
Yes.
And even if you can't raise a boat where you're at, you can always get Mobile, Alabama. They will hear you. They're 50 miles out there.
Aren't they something?
They are. It's a pleasure. I have had to use them.
Have you really?
And I've pinged them, and it's a blessing when they come back and say, "What's your location?"
I know we've all had close calls. The big thing a lot of times in the old days was the weather sneaking up on you. Of course, now you can sort of see it on radar and all, but in those early years, that weather was
tough. And of course, we still get caught out in there in a freak storm. And I've been out there, go out there 1 foot and be in 5 foot seas before you could turn around. But when you're 35, 40 miles out, you just don't outrun it. You just have to face into it and let it blow through.
Yeah.
And then it'll calm down again, and you're ready to fish.
Well, that's the big thing. You put your bow into it and just hunker down, and you get in that situation.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe most of y'all won't have to do that.
No, I hope not.
Let's take a break. Take our final break. We'll be right back with Jerry. Okay, welcome back. Here with Jerry Forehand. Real quick, let's take a look at our fishing game time today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. Our times, 12:38 to 2:38 this morning, 1:11 to 3:11 this afternoon. We've got several pictures. We've got so much more to talk about. So let's look at this little squirrel hunting picture. Tell us about it. Who's this guy?
Well, that is my grandson, Aiden Noser.
Okay.
And that's his first squirrel ever. And
He's
it was
happy.
exciting for him to shoot it.
Where were y'all?
Well, we were out of state in Tennessee.
Okay, all right.
And there's one of the bucks that I'd killed on that trip. That's probably about a 200-pounder. Had a broke horn on the side, but
Yeah.
I'm a meat hunter as much as anything.
I understand. Okay. And then, let's see, one more. There's a couple more. Okay, that's your grandson again on this one.
Oh, yes.
Okay, and then big mess right here.
Yeah, we caught some nice fish this year with him.
Okay.
He comes and spends a month with me in June.
Is that how
Out of
that
school.
spends the whole month with
He
you?
spends the whole month with me. We're blessed to have him, and his parents get a break, and we get him.
I know they're happy. That's a win-win.
And
Let's show two more while we got it. How about this bass picture right here?
Yeah, that was caught Monday.
Okay.
In the Chipola River, and the fish are biting pretty good. You've heard them say, well, it's time to fish. Well, it's time to fish. If you look in my left hand holding the lure, that's what I caught them on.
Okay.
Tennessee shad.
There it is right there. There's a secret to go
That
fishing
is one
down
of the
there.
secrets.
And the last one picture we got?
Well, that was weekend before Thanksgiving in Tennessee, and that's my buddy David Conrad. He goes with me, and we both bagged bucks
On opening morning. That's how you do it.
And we both turned down our second buck.
We were talking about that. You always got the first one, let the others walk, because you don't want to clean that many, do you?
Yeah, you know. And I knew my friend in Tennessee that I hunt on his property. He'd already shot 3 times on the pasture, and I thought, 4 is about all I want to clean in one day.
It's a neat story how y'all became friends. Just
It
briefly
is.
tell the folks
All
about it.
right, met him and his father. He was 10 years old, and I met his father 53 years ago on the pier.
On the
I
pier.
was 20 years old fishing on the pier, and they were shark fishing. I said, hey, guys, you want to go fishing in a boat? Yeah, so I took them fishing the next day. We trolled for Spanish and caught Spanish and blues, and just had a great time, Dr. Taylor. And for the last 53 years or close to it, when they were able to come down, I fished them.
And they came down here and you took them fishing.
I took them fishing, and Kurt, the younger one, the son, said if he ever had a farm, he'd let me come up and hunt. Well, I'm the only guy that gets to hunt that farm.
How about that?
You know, and
That's a direct result of doing a good deed and just taking somebody fishing,
that's
and
right,
then you had a
that's
place
right.
in
Never
Tennessee.
expected to go hunting.
How
out
many years
there.
you been up in Tennessee hunting?
Oh, 12, 15, something like
That's
that.
awesome.
Now.
That's
You know.
awesome. Okay, talking about doing good things and all. I know you're active in helping other people and building and like a helping hands ministry. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, for several years I was head of the Helping Hands Ministry at First Baptist downtown, and we go in, find out widows or the like that need some help in their house, and it could be just a hot water heater or it could be a roof. You know, the church has been real good about helping furnish materials on a lot of them, and fact is we just did a roof with some volunteers from the church, our Sunday school class, Jim Mayberry's class. Put a brand new roof on a double wide on the beach, and it was no cost to them. And she was on her 3rd set of blue tarps.
Oh man.
So that was a blessing. It didn't just bless her; it blessed us. And if you want a good feeling in your heart, do something for somebody else.
That's the truth. We talk about it all the time. I know you've done some mission work overseas.
I have. I started missions work when I was in my early 40s, and we went to pretty much every country in the Central America, some of the islands, Galapagos, and built on new churches. And now I stay stateside, and I work in the church and do stuff through the church.
You know, the ministry of doing that kind of work and all helping other people is just strong. And
It is. It's strong, and there's never a better blessing than what you can do for your fellow man.
And you tie that in, there's still people, it's been 3 years since the hurricane, there's still people like her with the blue
That's
tarps.
right. That's exactly
still
right.
People still need help.
Yeah, and I just had some people from Bluntstown say, would you advise us on Helping Hands?
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to meeting Paul and
Good deal.
working with him.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And it always, you mentioned this at the beginning of the show, when you sit in a tree stand or something, it's peaceful and quiet around, you look at this nature and all, it's just a special feeling.
It is a special feeling. You're out there with God only.
Yeah.
I don't listen to a radio. I communicate with Him, and
Good time.
it's a relaxing atmosphere. I could go sit and never shoot nothing, and be blessed.
That's right. That's right. Well, that's why I wanted Jerry to come on the show. I've known him a very long time, and he's a blessing to a lot of people, and just loves the outdoors. And you can see pretty successful in his outdoor endeavor. So we're going to start wrapping things up. Are you getting ready for Christmas?
I am. I put the Christmas tree up 2 days ago, and my wife almost has it decorated. Yeah. Hello, Carolyn. It's good to see you.
We understand that. So looking forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you.
And I appreciate the meal y'all served us over there. We just had the best time.
And I hope you enjoy the sausage I brought that I made this morning.
Oh, we will. I can promise you we will. So, folks, I love having folks like this on the show. These real people we get on Panhandle Outdoors. They're not coming from other places. They're real and from around here. So, thank you, Jerry.
My pleasure.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you some more later.
All right.
Thank you all for watching our show. We appreciate the viewership. Y'all do something good today for your fellow man. You have a great day. Enjoy the outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.